Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For some breaking news, World Rugby are officially investigating the alleged incident between Bongi Mbonambi and England flank Tom Currie, where an alleged racial slur was used by Bongi Mbonambi against Tom Currie. So before we go into this, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. About 2 hours ago, actually, I put out a video about the fact that he was potentially not going to be investigated, but that is since the information has since changed. This is a bit of an update on what is going on. So, in terms of what we know and what we do not know, right? So, basically, what happened, if you are new to the whole incident, is that on Saturday night, during the match, Tom Currie went over to Ben O'Keefe and was heard saying, Sir, if a player calls me a white C word, well, you all know what it is, what must I do? Whereupon Ben O'Keefe said nothing and then basically said, I will handle it type thing. Following the match, neither player shook hands, and Tom Currie was asked about it, and he said it was nothing. I'm not going to talk about it, basically. Steve Borthwick was asked about it in the press conference, whereupon he said, I'm not going to talk about it. Dion Davids was then asked about it on Sunday morning, where he said he wasn't aware of the incident, and he doesn't have any information regarding the alleged comment. And Steve Borthwick on Sunday in another press conference also refused to comment on it as well. So, the Telegraph was then reporting that England would not be lodging a formal complaint, of which they had, I think, 36 hours to do. So that was this morning, and to submit a formal complaint to World Rugby. And the Daily Telegraph basically came out and said that they understand that they will not be submitting a complaint. However, as of literally about 5 minutes ago, World Rugby have officially issued a statement to say that they will be investigating the potential incident. So this is the full, very short statement that has been issued. It says that World Rugby issues a statement regarding alleged discriminatory language in semi-final 2 on Saturday, 21 of October. It says World Rugby takes all allegations of discriminatory behaviour extremely seriously. We can confirm that we are formally reviewing the allegation made by England's Tom Currie in relation to the use of discriminatory language during the England versus South Africa Rugby World Cup 2023 final on Saturday. World Rugby will not be making further comment until the conclusion of the process. Right, so regardless of where you think it happened, regardless of where you think there's any merit, it is being investigated. And so the formal process will now begin. They'll be looking at all the footage. I mean, it's not going to be a particularly long investigation, I don't think. I mean, you've only got to look at when the incident was alleged to have happened, which was fairly early on in the game. So you don't exactly have a lot of video footage to go through. And then it's quite simple. What happened? What was said? Was it a case of mistranslation? Because a lot of South Africans are basically saying that, he wouldn't have used the word, that, we don't use that word in our vocabulary. He wouldn't use that word in his vocabulary, for example, that, it can translate to different things in Afrikaans, and that must be the reason. Again, what I've been saying is we don't know. And yes, chances could very well be a case of different context and lost in translation type of incident. That can very well be the case. I think it's dangerous to assume it is because we don't know, and to just decide we do when we don't have the full facts is a bit of a dangerous road. So it is interesting, and this is just the last thing that we needed, isn't it? As Springbok fans, is to have Bongi Mbonambi currently being investigated by World Rugby and a potential question mark over his inclusion in the final, and he's one of the most, ironically, probably the least replaceable players, or the most irreplaceable players, to phrase it differently. In that, if he doesn't, I mean, he played a full 80. He's been playing full 80s the last 2 weekends, really. Played a full 80, this weekend, and would probably be expected to play a full 80 this coming weekend with Dion Currie on the bench as hooker cover in inverted commas, but more as an emergency cover, really, than genuine cover, because Bongi Mbonambi is the only out-and-out hooker who's been playing hooker, a lot in the last few years. Dion Currie's gone back to his hooker roots, for example, and then they've tried to sort of change Markov Stad to a hooker, but he is the most irreplaceable player. So this would be a massive, massive knock to South Africa's chances in the World Cup final if you were to receive a ban. And I'd be very surprised if this investigation takes, for example, 2 weeks and it's after the World Cup before they make a decision. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Again, we don't know exactly what happened, so I would issue caution towards speculating. It did sound like he was going to not potentially get investigated this morning on the fact that England were not going to be lodging a formal complaint. However, it looks like World Rugby have exercised their right and their prerogative almost to investigate a potential incident, which is probably right for them. A lot of South Africans will be annoyed about the fact, and they'll just dismiss it by saying, "Oh, well, it's a case of it's completely out of context and it's wrong." And that could very well be the case. But let's make sure that's the case, isn't it? Because if the roles were reversed, we would want there to be an investigation. We would want there to make sure that there hasn't been a genuine incident. And that, if there hasn't, then fantastic. But rather be safe than sorry. You don't want to be, we're always so quick to attack organizations, federations, and stuff for dismissing potential incidents. Though we do need to allow the process to happen. Hopefully nothing comes of it, and it's very frustrating that it is even going to come to this. But let's find out the facts. Let's make a call from there, and then let's go. So we'll obviously update you as soon as we get any information. But all we can confirm is that they are officially reviewing the footage, and they are investigating the incident, and there should probably be a decision within the week, I'd imagine. So yeah, let me know. Do we need to panic? Do we think that there's any merit? A lot of people saying there isn't. I'm just saying let's wait and find out. But that is the kind of situation. He will be investigated, and as soon as we have an update, we will let you know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon.